Angelo Toaster Fuller, publicly known as Some Robot Toaster, formerly the Shit Let's Play YouTuber Angelo Yoshi 1998. This animator, podcaster, tryhard comedian, and professional former Jessica Rabbit cosplayer dater has fallen into hard times after selling out to draw furry porn. Former member and creator of the best Sleepy Cabin ripoff, The Degenerates Basement, is so irrelevant now that he can't even get a text back from his former cause. This joke is funny to nobody but Toaster himself. Like, seriously, Toaster, I miss my wife and kids. Please let me out of the basement. I want to go back home. I am severely depressed under your watch. This has been the Gamer from Mars telling you to watch out for Degenerates Basements. They are insane and need to be on a watch list. Jason Deswan, publicly known as J.A. Vagabond, is a former member of the defunct Sleepy Cabin ripoff Degenerates Basement. Jason fell as hard as his co-host Some Robot Toaster, being the ashul who gave him the idea to draw furry porn. He now spends his days selling illegal Viagra pills to middle schoolers in the Colorado Springs downtown sewer system. He is a dangerous man and needs to be avoided at all costs. Crack Sparrow, publicly known as Crack Sparrow, is a former co-host of the defunct We Plays ripoff Degenerates Basement. His downfall began when Jason Deswan, known more commonly as J.A. Vagabond, who's publicly released info on his Toga addiction from the shit and her macadamia nuts. He now spends his days groping Toga cosplayers at Colorado Comic-Cons. He is impossible to apprehend due to his shape-shifting abilities and immense level of crackhead energy. Crack Sparrow is easily the deadliest member of the former Degenerates Basement podcast. If you see him, call 1-800-FUCK-MY-BUTT to give your local police department info on his whereabouts. The Dezen Julian, publicly known as Beholder of Rats and King Julian respectively, were the first members of the Degenerates Basement to abandon ship after Toaster admitted to his cosplayer addiction. They are the only members of the former podcast to live a perfectly normal life and we're pretending to be degenerates to expose Toaster as the lolco he is. Before we end this documentary on the downfall of Degenerates Basement, we have more members to go over. Xavier, publicly known as Deadly1, is a sports gayer who was a recurring member on the defunct podcast. Little is known about Deadly. Be scared, be very scared. I'm literally shitting myself as I think of this man's powers. Another member of Degenerates Basement would be Sky's the Limit. This Sky's the Limit was a rumored member of Degenerates Basement we never met. He was on Toaster's previous podcast, the Flame War podcast. Their loser friend Cameron deleted it off the internet out of insecurity. Due to this, we know absolutely nothing about Sky's the Limit. The final member of Sleepy Cabin to the Electric Boogaloo is Maddie. Publicly known as Maddie, username Maddie, was a recurring member on Degenerates Basement and exposed J.A. Vagabond, Crack Sparrow, and Toaster for wanting to fuck butt at prison. She has since gone MIA and allegedly sells fake cryptocurrency on the dark web. Thanks for listening to the rise, fall, and decay of the worst podcast on the internet known as Degenerates Basements. This is human Mark Zuckerberg signing out.